Good morning. We're glad you're joining us for the 4th annual Rise and Shine Breakfast. I'm Carol Thrain, President of the Front Porch Alliance Board of Directors and your host for today's virtual event. Whether you're joining us from home or from the office, we hope that you're safe and well. While our event today is not exactly what we had originally planned, we're excited for the opportunity to connect with you. Our community's kindness and generosity, after all, are at the heart of all we do. No one knows that better than this year's Rise and Shine Breakfast co-chairs, Barb Brown, Barb Haviland, and Lisa Shellhorn. Well before the pandemic roared in, this terrific trio was rallying support for this year's event. We are grateful for their leadership and commitment, especially through the transition to a virtual event. Barb, Lisa, and Barb, thank you for all that you do for Front Porch, and especially for your dedication to the children and families we serve. Our Board of Directors is also grateful for the many sponsoring companies and individuals displayed at the beginning of our program. Our donors and community partners are essential to our success because you allow Front Porch Alliance to meet individuals and families where they are. You help us to provide the resources families need to overcome everyday challenges and to do so with dignity. Thank you for responding with such kindness and generosity. As we spend the next 30 minutes together, I hope you will be inspired, not only by the stories of strength and resilience, but by the opportunity to unite as a caring community. One way to do that is by sharing a gift with Front Porch Alliance, simply by clicking the donation links in today's Facebook and YouTube posts, or by visiting our website at the address displayed on your screen. Please share a gift now at frontporchalliance.org, Facebook, or YouTube. We've all been through a lot these past few months, but for many of our neighborhood families, the challenges have tested them in ways none of us could imagine. Thankfully, Front Porch Alliance has been a steady and reliable circle of support as families navigate a new normal. We served over 350 families last year through our Neighborhood Families program. This includes parent as teachers, playgroups, and healthy living activities. We also provided a helping hand to residents unable to maintain their homes through our minor home repair program. And we supported students at Faxon Elementary School as more than 80 volunteer mentors and tutors served in our Partners in Active Learning program. We advanced STEM education opportunities for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders through our Lego League robotics program. And finally, we also engage with older students through our Teens in Tech program to provide experiences in technology, computer science, and graphic design. As you would expect, all of these programs were suddenly impacted when the pandemic hit this spring. But with creativity, flexibility, and resilience, our team has implemented new ways to continue meeting the needs of Eastside residents. Perhaps more importantly, Front Porch Alliance has walked side by side with families through the ups and downs of everyday life and a global pandemic. Our generous community makes that possible, and our video presentation this year truly affirms what your support means to our families. Let's take a look.
For 21 years, Front Porch Alliance has been a vital resource for families in the Kansas City Public School District and on the East Side. And we lost no steam over the course of this pandemic in continuing to be that resource. Pretty quickly, when we realized the severity of the situation, we pivoted to finding ways to continue to be there, continue to support our families whose lives were ongoing. And so we deliver and have continued to deliver food, diapers, basic necessities, schooling necessities.
It goes a long way for a mom that has a need that feels like there's nobody she can depend on, that can call on somebody to assist her without judging her, will help her in the long run know that she's capable for one and that people care enough to help her get on her feet. You know, I was a kid, I grew up in the Boys and Girls Club, impoverished. I'm no different. That's the reason I care about the job as much as I do, because I'm the children, right? I'm the same kid that's in the house that the mother may not be able to pay the light bill. Like, I was that kid that grew up like that.
This is my son, Levi Zaire Anthony Green. This is my pride and joy right here. The best thing that ever happened to me. God's best gift on earth. Before he was even born, we was stocking up on diapers and wipes from DeMont. And they help me with whatever I need help with. Like, if I need help with rent, like, they'll come down and help me with that. When Corona first started, they was bringing us food and stuff, like, just on a regular, bringing us food.
Just being a person to say, you know what, I don't know you, but I want you to know your life matters, right? And so your family matters, and people here are here that care enough to want to help see you do well.
It's just a friendly get-together. When DeMont comes, he stays and chats with us and talks to us. Like, he become family now. Like, at this point, like, we done got so cool with him.
It's parent educator / caseworker / therapist / friend /
And we have minor home repair. We have a group of guys who go around and just fix up fences and clean out gutters and do whatever our neighbors need to get their home safe and clean.
We really miss the minor home repair program. We miss the clients. They're just such great people. We miss the kindness they show by letting us into their homes. Of course, we miss the guys. We're stopping at the bit to get back.
Unfortunately, our adult mentors in the Facts and Pals program have not been able to meet in person with their mentees, but they have really enthusiastically tried to find ways to support teachers and stay connected to their students. And so that has meant sending love notes to teachers, letting them know that we care about them and we support them, collecting school supplies and making sure that students get access to those school supplies. We're excited that this month we also get to resume our Teens in Tech program in a socially distanced way. Teens in Tech is a really great way to introduce students to programming skills, web development skills, things that make them competitive in the job market and hopefully spur their imagination and creativity. As part of our efforts to stay connected with our community and to support families, we've had to adapt our baby showers from in-person events to drive-through baby showers where families show up, they receive all the things that they would receive in an in-person, but in a slightly more mobile way than we've done it in the past.
Y'all exceeded my expectations as far as when it concerns for my son, concerns for us, like, they exceeded my expectations.
The way the job helps families become more resilient is just by offering a lending hand or a listening ear, right? And I think a lot of times a lot of our families get stuck in these ruts. And so I think what we do within this job is just let people know that they matter, right? That's the biggest thing you can do.
I think resilience has been the name of the game for us as an organization over this last year. We're fortunate to have really strong relationships, and those have become spaces where we practice being strong and being resilient and looking ahead and being there for each other. We have seen our team and this organization grow and strengthen over the last couple of months. We're really excited that you're a part of it. We invite you to continue to be a part of it.
Thank you, Megan, and special thanks to our amazing staff and dedicated volunteers. The courage and resilience of our Eastside neighbors is proof that not even a global pandemic can stop the power of the human spirit. We can learn much from each other in these trying times, especially from those who are champions for a stronger, healthier, safer community. One of those champions is our special guest, Anthony Butler. Anthony is a captivating speaker, a thought-provoking author and founder of the VIP movement. VIP, by the way, stands for Violence I Prevent, and it's a message we can all live by. Let's take a listen.
How many times have you bounced back from a setback? How many times have you recovered like no other and poured into this life of yours and so many more, and right now you need a refill? 2020 has been unprecedented, uncharted waters, and what we need to do is to continue to pour into ourselves and build resilience. I have a series of questions for you. What are you facing? 2020, the year that caught us by surprise and put us in a position where we're being drained and poured out over and over again. What are my choices? To be resilient or not be resilient? Think about this, foresight. What will most likely happen if I choose to be resilient? And then I have to make a decision. One of the things that I've learned in life is resilience works. The average person has about 50,000 thoughts per day. Out of those 50,000 thoughts, 80% are negative. Out of those 80% that are negative, 95% are the repetitive, exact same thoughts as the same day before. We make about 35,000 decisions per day. Today, I challenge you to bury your circumstances into the heart of a resilient soil and let it grow. I made a decision. Let's make a decision. Front Porch Alliance is doing great work to help our community and beyond make these great decisions. Be resilient. Stay resilient. Keep pouring into your wheels and let your wheel roll over and over and over. Rebound, bounce back, repeat. Rebound, bounce back, repeat. Let's choose to be resilient.
We are so excited to share some news about terrific new leadership at Front Porch Alliance. Please help me welcome our new Executive Director.
Greetings, I am Jatame Taylor. I feel privileged to be able to work with all of you as I come into Front Porch Alliance. Over the next few months as I enter in, I would love to have conversations with you all and get to know whose shoulders I'm standing on as I enter into this organization. What brought me here thus far? I've had over 20 years in the nonprofit industry, mostly working with families, communities, BIPOC communities, and around literacy, financial stability, making sure to leverage resources to make sure that families are the best and have the best to continue to succeed in their lives. Now I am here at Front Porch. Some things that brought me this way is the history that I've had with them working with communities and returning back home to Kansas City where I grew up to do the work that over the last 20 years has shaped me but bring it back to hometown. I am very privileged to work here with an amazing staff who has continued the legacy over the 20 years of Front Porch Alliance. I'm going to be working with them along with the boards, funders, sponsors, those who donate such as you. I ask that at any point in time in these 3 months that you have a question, you would like to talk, we will have to think of creative ways as the snow just started this Monday, creative ways to meet one another. But I look forward to those creative ways and knowing more about you, knowing more about the work that Front Porch does, and to continue the legacy to work with communities and children and family. Thank you so much for joining us in this virtual breakfast. I look forward to meeting all of you, whether it's through the virtual screen or in person someday soon. Take care.
Before I have the pleasure of introducing today's featured guest, I want to extend our thanks once again to the sponsors and contributors whose names appeared at the start of the program and will be displayed at the conclusion of today's event. If you have a heart for our mission and the meaningful support Front Porch Alliance provides to youth, families, and neighborhoods, we welcome your contribution today. Simply click the donation link posted today on Facebook and YouTube, or visit our website, frontporchalliance.org, to share a gift in any amount. Be assured that your contribution will do a world of good right here in Kansas City. You can help our youth and families to not only survive, but to thrive during these difficult times. It's an honor now to introduce our keynote guest, Dr. Moira Mulhern. Dr. Mulhern is the founder and CEO of Turning Point, the Center for Hope and Healing at the University of Kansas Hospital. After earning her doctorate in community psychology with an emphasis in health, Dr. Mulhern founded Turning Point, an organization which supports and enhances the lives of people living with serious medical challenges. She is a sought-after lecturer on issues related to stress management, resilience, and enhancing quality of life. It's our pleasure to welcome Dr. Moira Mulhern.
Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here talking about something that is very relevant during these trying times, and that is resilience. So I was introduced to Front Porch Alliance by Betty Crooker a long time ago when you all were first getting started, and I loved the mission. Building strong relationships and helping families make positive, lasting changes in their lives and neighborhoods falls right into what we're talking about today, which is resilience. So I want to first talk about the definition of resilience, which I think you all know. It is the ability to bend without breaking or to bounce back, but it's really more about your threshold. So we all have a threshold of how much we can handle before we start showing symptoms. And when I say symptoms, I'm talking about physical symptoms like stress symptoms, so it might be headaches, muscle aches, other symptoms of stress, or emotional symptoms, which would be anxiety, depression, maybe some distress. So we all have a threshold. Some people have really high thresholds, some people have lower thresholds, and depending on the skills that we have to manage the stress in our world determines where our threshold is. So if you can imagine a scale of functioning, where it's a human scale of functioning, where on the low end of the scale, folks are behaving badly. So they might be shooting each other at parties and ending up in prison. And then as you go further up the scale, you see behavior improve until you get to the high end of the scale, where those are the individuals who understand the difference between thinking and feeling and can move more from a thinking place rather than a feeling place. So that has to do with your threshold. Those are the folks who have the higher thresholds of what they can handle before they start showing symptoms versus the folks on that low end of the scale who have a lower threshold. And so the folks at the lower end of the scale reach their threshold more quickly. And two things happen when we reach our thresholds. If you reach your threshold and you don't have the skills to reduce that stressor and that stress becomes chronic, what happens is you will either implode or explode. And what I mean by imploding is those are behaviors, self-destructive behaviors, physical symptoms, things like that. And then explode would be things like aggression, violence. And of course, we're seeing all of that in our world today. We're seeing an increase in suicide, an increase in self-destructive behavior, as well as an increase in aggression and violence. So what do you do about this? How do you increase your threshold? Well, here is how you do it. This is our model of resilience. And this is a model that I have been working from. It's a model that I adapted when I was in graduate school. And it's a model that I've been using for about 30 years, and we've been using it here at the University of Kansas Health System for the last 8 years. And these are the things that we need to be highly functioning humans. So this is your roadmap to not only increasing your resilience, but being able to handle anything that comes your way. And when you look at this resilience wheel, you see that if you can do all of those things, you're going to be able to handle anything that comes your way. So one of the things is your ability to self-regulate. Well, if you look at self-calming and emotional expressiveness, that's self-regulation. If you can self-regulate, you're going to be a much better stress manager. And if you look at, for instance, optimism, if you can be optimistic and find the silver lining in the difficult situations in your life, you're going to do a lot better. And hope, if you're high in hope, that's having goals and having a plan to reach those goals. And hardiness is where you believe that life is naturally stressful and that life does not owe you comfort and ease, and that life is worth coping with. And with sense of coherence, you can find meaning in your experiences. So when you look at this wheel and you look at these characteristics, these are the characteristics of highly resilient people. And what we also know from the research that we've done throughout the years is that these are also the characteristics of high functioning humans. So it goes beyond resilience into how well you function in the world. And the great thing is that all of these characteristics can be trained. So here's an example of one of the 10 facets of resilience. Let's take self-calming. So anyone can get calm on their couch. But self-calming is about your ability to manage that fight-flight response, manage the stress response in your body and in your world, and then to take it out into the world around you. So for instance, if you learn how to get calm, then the next step is looking at what are the situations in your world that cause you to become stressed? And that's where you do the work. You learn how to get calm in those kinds of situations. And the beauty of the Front Porch Alliance is that the staff is going out and sitting with these families and teaching them these different characteristics of resilience and showing them how to apply these characteristics of resilience in their world. And I think that's something that we all need to be working on. We need to look at each one of these facets of resilience, and we need to see what we're good at, and during times of stress we need to ramp that up. And we also need to see what we're not so good at and pick one of those and work on it a little bit. You know, are we constantly working on ourselves? Are we practicing these things on a regular basis? Are we doing what we can to increase our thresholds? Because this is not the kind of thing that you perfect and live happily ever after. This is the kind of thing that I think we all should be working on until the day that we die. Because these are the kinds of things that if we live these characteristics of resilience, we will be an example for all of those around us. We will be an example for the people in our families, for the people in our work systems, for the people in the organizations that we support and the places that we work. And we will be able to affect every environment that we touch. And so I'd like to leave you with one thought. Work on yourself. Look at these 10 facets of resilience and be this person. So you see, regardless of what is going on in the world, one thing endures, and that's our ability to be resilient and to cope with whatever comes our way. These 10 facets of resilience are the foundation of all of the programs that we do at Turning Point. And we know from the data that we've been collecting that these programs lower anxiety, depression, and distress at a highly significant level, and they increase resilience skills. And so often we hear our participants tell us that they feel better now than they did before they got sick, and that their life is easier, that they are happier, that they feel healthier, and they have less drama and less conflict in their life. So these are the kinds of things that I think, regardless of what our situation is, we all need to be working on every single day. If we look at these 10 facets of resilience and decide this is the person that I want to be and practice these things, then we will have an impact on the world around us. Because remember, anxiety runs through the herd, but so does calmness, and so does self-awareness, and so does maturity. And all of these things, all of these 10 facets are the roadmap to what we all need to live happier, healthier, more successful lives.
Thank you, Dr. Mulhern, for your message of hope and inspiration. The information you shared can give all of us hope for the future. At Front Porch Alliance, our future is focused on continued outreach to children, teens, young families, and many vulnerable residents who need our support and encouragement. Together, we can make a difference in Kansas City. Together, we can build up our community and change lives for the better. I hope you will consider supporting our mission with a contribution today. Share a gift at frontporchalliance.org. And on behalf of everyone at Front Porch Alliance, we want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. Our hope is that next year we will all be together again, enjoying good company and breakfast on our front porch. Until then, have a great day, and please stay safe and well.